Hello everybody, this is Dragonzilla1991 here, and for today/tonight, depending on what time it is when you're watching this video, I will be talking about the history of the Daleks set number 19, and these Daleks in particular are from the season 1 finale of the new series, The Parting of the Ways, which is my all-time favourite new series Dalek story. It's the episode that made the Daleks my number one favourite Doctor Who monster in general, mainly because of the Daleks themselves, naturally, and their leader, the Dalek Emperor, of course because he was the most dominant throughout the finale. I pretty much mentioned that in the anniversary video that I made for the Daleks when they turned 60 years old back in late 2023. The link to that video will be in the description below if you wish to check it out. Also, Parting of the Ways premiered on the 18th of June 2005, so today will be the 20th anniversary of the episode. And it was also Christopher Eccleston's final story as the 9th Doctor, because as we all know at the end, he regenerated into the 10th Doctor, as played by the legendary David Tennant. So it makes sense that I should look at the 19th B&M Dalek set, and as you can see I have both, because one comes with a regular warrior Dalek with a plunger, and the other contains the Bronze Assault Dalek. First up is the Imperial Dalek Guard, who was one of the Emperor Dalek's personal guards. Now, of course, when we think of Daleks that are assistants to the Emperor, the first thing that will come to mind will be the classic guards from 1967's The Evil of the Daleks. They were mainly ordinary silver Daleks, but the only difference and what made them stand out from other Daleks were their black daubs. And while the new series still maintains this tradition, however, if you pay attention to those who shared some screen time with the Emperor himself, then you may actually notice that there was quite a variety of them. And in the scene when the Emperor Dalek gives his grand speech about turning the earth into his temple as he saw himself as the god of all Daleks, if you look at the far background and pause at the right time, in a blinking you'll miss a moment, there are some that bear a striking resemblance to Black Daleks. So these were actually Black Daleks who were playing Nessie, or it's possible that they were just another variant of the Imperial Guard, but they didn't get fully acknowledged until the RC Dalek battle packs from the early days of CO's Doctor Who line, to which I remember getting for my birthday many years ago, and still have them to this very day, albeit they're currently stored away as we speak. I really do love the black and gold colour scheme for this Dalek. In fact, it actually does remind me of the clay sculpture of the Hindu goddess of death, destruction and time, Kali, that I saw during my visit to the British Museum when I was on vacation to London last year. Despite the colour scheme, I do believe that this is more of a personal guard, rather than an actual Black Dalek, well, Black Supreme Dalek to be more accurate. I say this because the midsection, as well as the neck rings, are bronze, just like the normal Daleks, and while there were a few of these Daleks that were black, but while Black Dalek leaders are singles, and because we barely see them, I have reason to think that the leader of the Cult of Skaro, Dalek Sec, who made his debut a year later, was the first official Black Dalek to come into the new series. Daleks with black and gold colour schemes are pretty cool to look at, and yes, they have been seen in other forms of media related to the series, and I would really love to see this particular colour scheme make a full proper appearance in the actual show itself someday. However, given the way that the series is currently going right now, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. But never say never, that's what I say. And overall, it's a very nice looking Imperial Dalek Guard. Next up is the second Dalek, which is of course the Bronze Assault. And for the most part it's your average new series Dalek. However, it does have one unique feature, and that would be the claw, despite it having 3 pincers, if that's what they are called. I do actually think that it's meant to be a reference to the claws of the Peter Cushing movie Daleks, even though they had 2 finger-like pincers. But I believe that the Assault Dalek itself is meant to be a homage to the Cutter Dalek from their debut story The Daleks, 1963. This was a Dalek that was in need for an upgraded model desperately, because the original that was released all the way back many years ago in 2007 had a chunky sculpt, and at the time character options didn't have full access to an actual Dalek prop, and they can only rely on pictures and photos. It's why the early models were kinda fat, and the Assault Dalek was one of them. However, in 2008, all of that changed, as CO got full access to those Dalek props, and they were a lot more accurate, so it was only a matter of time that the Assault Dalek got its own updated build, and the new figure is far more superior, much better looking, and a lot more accurate. I don't exactly remember on how the claw was positioned in the episode, but I like it in this pose, as it actually does remind me of the toe claw of a raptor. The Bronze Assault is quite a unique Dalek, and so far in the new series, like the Dalek Emperor, aside from other forms of media that support the franchise, has been a one-off. Will the Assault Dalek, or any other form of this type of Dalek, ever make a return to the series? Well, I guess for that one, again like with the Imperial Dalek Guard, only time will tell. And finally, really quick with this one, we have a generic looking Dalek that you can add to your growing army of Time or Bronze Daleks, as it possesses the traditional plunger, as you can see. And while it could be anyone, I like to think that this is the same Dalek that held Rose hostage. Interesting fact, I have been hearing rumours that it may actually be the Methaltron Dalek, but it didn't kill itself at the end of episode 6, rather it used a form of emergency temporal shift to reunite with the Emperor and the rest of the fleet. And yes, I know that it was beginning to feel Rose's emotions, or something like that, but remember, Daleks are good actors. Captain Jimmy Pie did a video on the theory, links in the description below, in case you think I'm pulling your leg. It's a nice looking new series Dalek to have in the collection, however like some other 2005 Bronze Daleks, there's so much to say. Also, its companion is just another Imperial Dalek. So, final thoughts on the history of the Daleks Set 19. If you love the story like I do, then this will be a must-have. Parted of the Ways is truly a great episode, and it not only made the Daleks my #1 favourite monsters, as I said at the start of the review, but it also encouraged me to check out the classic series. Well, to be more accurate, it was actually the sadly now closed exhibition in Blackpool that made me want to see it. But anyway, this is Dragonzilla 1991 signing out. Take care, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.